Good afternoon. Thanks for coming. We're going to have the mayor's budget hearing for Municipal Auditorium, and I'm joined today by the finance director, Talia Lomax O'Neill, and the city's chief strategy officer, Brian Kelsey. In the audience are Councilman Robert Swope, the chair of the Codes Farmers Market Committee, and Council Lady Taneka Vercher, who is the chair of the Council's Budget and Finance Committee. I've been giving a brief little statement at the beginning of these hearings talking about how we're doing a status quo budget. Since the Municipal Auditorium is essentially an enterprise fund, I'm going to skip that and just turn it over to you to allow you to give a presentation, then we'll probably have a few questions. Thank you.
Talia, Brian. I'm Bob Sconey. I'm General Manager for Municipal Auditorium, and with me today I have Christy Bailey, who is our Finance Manager. Also on the way is our Chairman of the Board, Blake McDaniel, who is trying to be here, so he may come in during this meeting.
Well, we're running ahead of schedule,
yes,
so he won't be.
He wanted to be with us dearly, but he had another overlapping meeting. So, but anyway. Thank you for your time today. Just wanted to start off by saying the Municipal Auditorium has celebrated its 55th anniversary last October. And for those that may be watching at home that may not be familiar with the Municipal Auditorium or new to town, we're a 9,000 seat plus mid-size arena located in downtown Nashville, right off James Robertson Parkway, and we host a variety of events. We do concerts, we do circus, we can do all types of different cheer competitions, conferences, and we do a lot of concert rehearsals, especially in the country music genre, being in Music City, Nashville. One of our greatest strengths, like I mentioned, was that being downtown. We feel like that's a big plus for us. And the Commission and I and this administrations have in the past always thought that it was the best way that we wanted to increase our revenue always, increase our usage, and increase our visibility. Of course, with visibility comes a lot more events, and we're starting to find that. About a year and a half ago, we bid out looking for a preferred concert promoter, and we were able to land a deal with Live Nation, and they're a large international concert promoter. And with them, in unison with them, they've been able to help us attract many large-scale events like Sting, Mary J. Blige, the Chainsmokers. Some of these groups you may have to go back and take a look at, but the Post Malone we've got coming up, and we had Boston, and so they've increased our concerts almost from we were averaging about 7 a year, and now we're probably close to 20 a year, and I imagine we're going to start tipping the scale pretty good this upcoming fiscal year. So it's starting to take really root, and it's getting our visibility out there. Also, about 4 years ago, we took an underutilized space on the exhibit floor, and we opened up the Musicians Hall of Fame, and that was a kind of a private partnership with them, and their core would be that they would have a museum in the middle, and then they built event space on the outside of it, and they're able to host different types of receptions, weddings, and they're finding a lot of extra activity with the legislative building across the street, Cordell Hall. They're starting to have a lot of receptions for the legislators there now, so there's a lot more increased usage there. And also last year they opened up the Grammy Gallery, and it's an interactive type of museum where it can teach students how to write music, record music, learn how to play different types of music. So it's been a plus for our museum on top of it. And the end of this month, we're opening up the Rolling Stones exhibition. It's a traveling show with only 4 exclusive showings in the USA. And so this is their final stop, and so we're going to have that for the next 3 months. So we're excited to have that. Also, the biggest thing with an older facility when it's 55 years old is trying to maintain its freshness. But through 4% capital improvements. We've been able to do a lot in the last few years especially. We just finished a renovation of all of our seats in the mezzanine and the balcony. Those are all been taken out and refinished and retained the wood back look and keeping the look of the venue. Also, this past summer, we were closed for about 3.5 months, and we took 2 dressing rooms and made them nice. 5 different nice dressing rooms. So it's been a great improvement, especially for a lot of the touring acts that used to come there for many years. They're just like, wow, these are really nice now. So that's been a big plus for us. And also we bought some metal detectors, and we're increased our safety and security for all of our public events. We're now utilizing them. And then we just received some monies to improve our restrooms. This summer we'll be working on renovating all of our restrooms. So we're asking for a straight line budget, carrying through with what we were asked to do. And I just want to thank the full-time employees, the 8 of them at the auditorium, and Christy for their hard work that they do. And we thank you for your service to our city, Mayor. We'll close here.
Thank you.
Right. I'll jump right in if you don't mind.
Yes.
I know that you aren't requesting a subsidy, so I do want to just real briefly talk about revenue.
Okay.
And based on what's in front of us, we had about $3 million in 16 and about 2.2 in 17 of actual. You with me?
You talking about revenue?
Yes. And I know what happened in 17 because you had some of the renovations going on, so there was like some time in there when you couldn't you were juggling some of the booking, and then the OVC tournament, right?
OVC tournament passed us this fiscal year. And
right,
is
and I know
going
that
for this.
impacted that difference between 16 and 17. Yeah. But what I'm looking at is the 19 estimate of 1.5.
It's flat.
Do you? I'm just wondering, because it is lower than the actuals for last year. Do you know why that would be dropping from 2.2 of actual to 1.5 in 19 in terms of your revenue?
Well,
or am I just missing
We
something?
surpassed it last year.
yeah, we
due to the Live Nation contract, because we didn't have that budgeted when we didn't have the Live Nation contract when we budgeted for FY 18.
I guess my question is, are you just being super conservative in terms of...
I am.
Yes.
In terms of
I'm
19,
guilty
that's
of
the
that.
question.
I
Are
am
you just being super conservative?
when it comes to numbers? I mean, we're still booking for this fiscal year. I've got a couple big things in the hopper that could
And to
end
the
up this fiscal
extent
year.
that you exceed these revenue estimates, they would just go into your fund balance anyway to be used for other purposes, and which is good.
That is always the most difficult thing for the auditorium, is because unlike Charles with the convention center, they're booking 5 years out. I'm 3 month out per department. Really different, totally different.
Right,
game.
you're just being conservative, basically to make sure you cover your operational expenses, that there's at least enough in there to cover your expenses, and any surplus would go into your fund balance.
And the fund balances would be available for what we typically use 4% money for?
Typically, we let them they could use it for operational support, or if they could come and ask to use some of it for other purposes if needed. But they've not been so fortunate in
Not in the past.
Yeah.
We're hoping to change that going forward.
Yes.
But you don't see any difference in the trend of the events that are being booked out by Live Nation, do you? That is still in a good place.
That is in a very good place.
It's very good. They've booked more this year than they did last year, so we're
They're
hoping
trending.
even more next
Trending
year
very
than what
good.
we have this year.
And the business just
impressive,
begets each other. I mean, our phone is ringing strong.
Good.
That's good. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very
much.
Thank you, Mayor.